see you. Nice to have you.
You make a weird noise when you ask them. I'll go ask them.
Yeah, they're all easy.
You're here, well.
Our guys are. Apparently she found out they're only paying for she was insurance. But anyway, she found out it was so she broke up. She was on the phone. Walking. And the phone dropped and she heard her scream. But anyways, that's what the police are going to take us. So much better than it was. Yeah. Faster.
What a goal.
I'm so happy to see that you're still with me.
Yeah, yeah, it was nice. I mean, we went from the 20s to 9-2, 9-3. So we still, so we were.
I hold it on the back of my neck.
They're just struggling. They lost. Okay, guys. Thanks.
Hey, good luck. Yeah, good seeing you, man.
The referees will blow the whistle and let it go.
Welcome aboard, hockey fans, to the Western Washington University Hockey Club YouTube broadcast of this exhibition matchup between your Western Washington University Vikings and the Utah Valley University Wolverines. Non-conference matchup here this Friday evening for the Vikings. Late start here after 10:15 p.m. Vikings looking to rebound from a pair of losses to Boise State last weekend, and the weekend before a pair of losses to Eastern Washington. 4 straight losses for the Vikings as they return home now to Bellingham Sportsplex, taking on Utah Valley University this evening. I'll be right back with you folks, about 8 minutes now to the drop of the puck here, and be right back with you to read you the starting lineups. 3 minutes out from puck drop here, Vikings fans, as we bring you tonight's starting lineups. First for Utah Valley University. In goal will be number 30, Connor Bilson. On defense, at right defense, will be number 8, Evan Kraus. On the left will be number 12, Burke Larson. The forward group for Utah Valley will be the center, number 21, DJ LaMartina. The right wing, number 18, Alex McCloskey. And the left wing, number 45, Adam Hill. Starting this evening for your Western Washington University Vikings, in goal will be freshman Jake Holden, number 31. Left defense, number 3, Aiden Knabb. Right defense, number 24, Big Cam Budnick. Center for the Vikings will be number 17, Alex Stoneham. Right wing, number 26, Lucas Fantine. And the left wing will be number 27, Bailey McNanny. Vikings a little bit short-handed this afternoon as Coach McDonald starts the evening with only 14 skaters available. We'll look to the Vikings to shorten their lines here, do a little mixing matching over what they've been going with for much of the season. 1:45 now to puck drop. We'll be right back with you for the anthem here shortly. Correction, folks, the Vikings with 16 skaters tonight as number 15, Jack Thornton, has been added to the game time roster. Setting up tonight's action, folks, Western again coming off 4 straight losses in the last 2 weekends to Eastern Washington University and Boise State University, the leaders of the Pac-8 Ice Conference. Of course, Western's first season in the Pac-8 this year. Utah Valley, meanwhile, rests squarely at the bottom of the Mountain West Conference of the ACHA's Division II. Utah Valley coming off of a loss to Weber State, their league leaders. Vikings will look to sharpen up defensively tonight after allowing 20 goals last weekend, which brought their average goals against per game over 6, the worst mark in the Pac-8. As we line up for the anthem. Just getting those warm-up pucks cleared from the Western goal now.
It's not over there.
As Holden comes to the blue line. Western, of course, in the white and blue uniforms this evening. Utah Valley wearing green. Western will start going right to left on the attack on your screen here. Now with puck situation straightened out, we'll have a national anthem. All right, folks, just after 10:30 p.m. here from Bellingham Sportsplex, as coaches will give one final word to their lineups. Holden breaking in his crease. Gates will close and we'll be on our way. Tonight's matchup, the first of two games in this weekend series between the Vikings and the Wolverines. Tomorrow's matchup will be around the same time in the same place, 10:30 p.m. puck drop here at Bellingham Sportsplex, or available online on the Western Washington University Hockey Club YouTube channel. For Western Washington University, I'm Walker Sakon, as we're ready here to drop the puck. It's Stoneham in for the Vikings, losing the draw. Floats back into the Utah Valley zone. Ends up back on Bilson, and now Utah Valley just unable to break out, has turned over to Stoneham. Now dumps around the end boards and behind Bilson. Again, the keeper for Utah Valley, as it's held in, and we'll have a face-off. So still Stoneham now for the Vikings on the face-off. Cycled the Nab, who will shoot, and it's gloved high by Bilson. Shot not on goal as skaters warming up here. First 35 seconds played in the first period. Stoneham cleanly winning the draw to Nab there, who shoots it low. It's blocked by Bilson. And kicked up. Nab regains it, but outside the zone. Now they battle for it in the neutral ice. It trickles into the western zone, where Utah Valley pokes it to the corner. Player loses his skates, regains them, and holds the puck. Back to the blue line. A shot stopped low by Holden and gloved to the ice. First test there for the western keeper. Now both teams will change. It'll be Keats Montrose on the draw for the Vikings. Montrose loses it, but it's played up and out by Hoytink, who dumps it in, and it's held by Bilson for a stoppage. $18:51 remaining in the first period here. That'll be Montrose with Cloutier and Hoytink for the Vikings, the forward group, backed by McDonald and Hoffman. As Donald shoots, it's gloved by Bilson. 6 seconds elapsed there, 18:45 to play in the first. Vikings will change forward group. Be Ivor Jackson now in for the draw for the Vikings. Jackson centering Jack McCollum and Andrew Gamble. They're 12 and 10 as McDonald shoots it, and that was blocked wide by Utah Valley. As they now battle for it, but it's taken by Gamble and cycled to McDonald, looking for a shot. Blocked again in behind Bilson. Now an errant pass goes down the length of the ice where it'll be played to Hoffman by Holden. Hoffman to McDonald, taps to Gamble, beats a man. Jackson now gains the zone, loses the puck in the process, and it's flipped out into neutral ice by Utah Valley. Now Utah Valley on the rush. Player falls and loses the puck, but his teammate's there to grab it. Now the Vikings possess, but only briefly as it's turned over. Jackson in on the forecheck now for the Vikings. Gamble got in on that pass, but was unable to possess it as Jackson and McCollum now go into the corner. Shot by McCollum there, kicked wide by Bilson. McCollum and Jackson tonight missing their regular line mate, Dawson Roberts. Versatile forward and defender for the Vikings, out of the lineup this evening. As Hoffman takes the puck. Those three regularly roommates and best friends, according to McCollum. As it's now the Stoneham line with Fantine and McNanny back on the ice for the Vikings and racing back as Utah Valley gains the zone. Now it's played long. And broken stick for the Utah Valley player. So he'll grab a new one. Nothing comes of it. Western still battling to escape the zone. They do break out, and now be Fantine in around behind Bilson. Stoppage now. It's going to be a high sticking call. 2-minute minor assessed number 21, Utah Valley University. That's DJ LaMartina starting center this evening for the Wolverines to the box. 16:38 remaining in the first period. 2 minutes for high sticking. As Western takes their first power play of the evening. Get a fresh stick there for LaMartina in the box. As it'll be Stoneham now in with Gamble and Jackson on the draw. Winning that to McDonald. McDonald waits and passes high for Gamble, who's unable to control it. Now the Vikings hold the zone. McDonald chases in. Puck is flipped out where it's controlled by Hoffman in the neutral ice. Backing up, he plays it to McDonald. McDonald wheels and now lugs the puck across the red line into the Utah Valley zone. Behind the net now, still McDonald with it. leaves it for Gamble, who had already left the space behind the net as it's up into the netting for a stoppage. 15:54 remaining in the first period. Still 0-0 here in this one. Stoneham now in the neutral zone face-off for the Vikings. It's McDonald and Hoffman on defense for the Vikes. Hoffman, nice move now, gains the zone for the Vikings. In on Bilson, around back. Still Hoffman carrying back out to the blue line. Takes the space of McDonald in to Jackson, whose backhand goes wide of the net. Stoneham played it to Gamble, and Gamble shoots high from the near face-off circle. Puck ended up over the shoulder of Bilson, who was able to trap it against his backside for a stoppage. 15:22 remaining in the first period now. Gamble, the freshman, former Bellingham Blazer for the Vikings, has been deadly effective, especially on the power play from that face-off circle, the near face-off circle specifically for the Vikings. The freshman forward playing on the wing tonight, as it is Gamble now, gaining the zone with speed. Deeks in behind the net. The pass went wide of Stoneham. Now Jackson gains it. Back to Gamble. It's played to Hoffman. Shoots and blocked wide. Back out to McDonald. He'll cycle to Hoffman, who loses it, but Gamble will play it. And now Hoffman to McDonald. Pass in front. Gamble shoots from the other face-off circle. Another dangerous chance. Bilson sprawling, and another stoppage. 2 seconds remaining on the La Martina penalty. 14:41 to play here in the first period. Still 0-0. That'll be Montrose line in now for the Vikings. Centering Hoytink and Cloutier. That'll be Nab and Budnick defensively for the Vikings. As Utah Valley controls off the faceoff. La Martina back on the ice. So back to even strength now. As Hoytink dumps to Chase. Goes in with Cloutier, Budnick rather, plays it around behind the net. Passed out front to Nab, who shoots the one-timer, kick save by Bilson. Now the Vikings dump and chase once more. Get half of the forward group off for Western. It's a good play by Nab there to step up to the Utah Valley man and force the puck back into the zone, as Budnick will fire a pass too hot for Nab to handle, and it trickles back into the Western zone where Nab goes into the corner, losing the Utah Valley man in the process, but now they battle for it behind Holden. Utah Valley shot from the point off a loose puck. It was high. Now Western goes the other way. It'll be Fantine with momentum. Has McNanny across from him. He shoots and scores. Wristed by Lucas Fantine, number 26 for the Vikings. 13:31 remaining in the first period. And that's Fantine for the Vikings. Only assist on that one going to number 17, Alex Stoneham. So these newly minted lines paying off early here for Vikings coach Larry McDonald. Just before the 6:30 mark, Vikings take a 1-0 lead over Utah Valley University as Stoneham goes down on the face-off here. Now Hoffman and McNanny battle for it. It ends up in Utah Valley possession, but the players pushed off the puck by Fantine, the goal scorer. Now held in by McDonald. Utah Valley possesses through the neutral zone. Into the western zone is Utah Valley. Shot on Holden. Back around, now to the point, and the shot's blocked. Fantine flips it high. His line mate McNanny there with Stoneham trailing. McNanny shoots. Stopped low and held by Bilson. Western continues to pressure offensively here on the Wolverines, as just a few shots in on Holden so far for the Vikings, doing a better job than they have in some games this season of staying clear of their own defensive zone and keeping traffic out from the front of their freshman goalie. As it's now Gamble centering Jackson and McCollum. Jackson battles for the puck, battling, appeared to be held by the Utah Valley player there in front of the goal, ends up getting a shot out of it, but nothing comes. 12:47 now to play in the first period. Now McCollum on the draw. Vikings shot by McDonald. It's wide. Now in the corner, they battle for it. It comes out. McDonald steps to the Utah Valley player. His partner Hoffman back to take it in behind Holden. Hoffman wheels. The Vikings will set up their breakout. Long pass, kicked by Gamble. He'll chase it into the zone. Gamble able to take possession. Deaking, nice move by Gamble. Shot there, stopped. Ran out of room going into Bilson there, did Gamble, who will now go in behind for the Vikings as a shot by McCollum. We've seen Coach McDonald for the Vikings tonight mixing up the face-off men there, as Utah Valley pass taken by McDonald after it was attempted thrown out in front of Holden. Now Utah Valley holding the zone but losing possession. Again, Coach McDonald making some changes in the face-off circle this evening. Gotta wonder if he's looking for fresh legs in there or just trying to improve in the department. Some sizable wingers on this team, including the captain Stoneham, who had been playing on the wing most of this season, taking face-offs tonight. 11:38 remaining as it's Montrose for the Vikings. Comes to Hoytink behind Bilson. Hoytink's backhand pass is blocked, and Montrose goes into the corner for it, but Utah Valley comes free with the puck. Now Nab throws a pass down the length of the ice for an icing call. 11:18 remaining as Western will set up for a defensive zone face-off here. (1-0) Vikings on your Western Washington University Hockey Club YouTube broadcast of this non-conference matchup between Utah Valley and Western Washington. So that shot went wide of Holden. Wraparound attempt across the front of the goal. Looked like Holden may not have seen that the entire time, but it goes harmlessly across the front of his crease. There's now Nab and Budnik battle behind Holden. Clodier there, battling, taking a couple of shots as Clodier going down from the last one. Clodier with something to say about it to the Utah Valley player. As a nice pass there was tipped for Montrose, but he'll lose possession. Montrose in on the forecheck. Good job by him to tie up the Utah player while Western changes. Now Utah Valley looks to break out. Pass turned over off the boards to Nab, flipped into the far corner. Will be chased by Stoneham. Turned over again. Vikings possess the puck. McDonald now setting up. Around the end boards it goes. Squirts past a Utah Valley player and back around to the near boards where it's turned over. Utah Valley heading the other way now. Player lost the puck on his deke and lost his feet shortly after. Now Hoffman turning the puck over, very nearly turning the puck over there on the blue line. Stoneham run into, loses the puck and tied up. Nice play there. Be McNanny taking the puck over for the Vikings, dumping back to Hoffman, who plays into the corner. McNanny's pass comes back around, played by Utah Valley in the near corner. As Hoffman's run into there, but the puck squirts through the neutral zone, taken by McCollum eventually, who turns it over. Hoffman hearing it now from the home crowd, fans of his physical play. McDonald flips the puck in high. Run into by a Utah Valley player who loses his feet. As Gamble on the forecheck. Forces the turnover now to Hoffman. Coming in behind Bilson is Hoffman. Looking to pass. It goes out to McDonald. Shoots. Blocked. He'll battle for it, and now foot race for it as Utah Valley takes possession. Kicked away by Hoffman, ties the Utah Valley skater up. Nice play there by him. As now Gamble takes it, able to tap it forward to Cloutier, who plays it to Ivor Jackson, kicks the puck to himself. It'll be in behind Bilson. No numbers for Jackson. Under 8 minutes remaining now in the first period here in this one. Still 1-0 Vikings. As Nabs run into. Taken by Hoffman in the Viking zone. Long pass to Gamble there. Not sure if Gamble thought that one was tipped. Appeared to have let it by, and we'll have an icing called. 12-11 played. There's 7:39 remaining here in the first period. It'll be Gamble now on the draw for the Vikings. As Utah Valley wins it. Shot wide of Holden. It's taken behind him where it eventually bounces to Montrose. Montrose's pass there, blocked away. Flipped in by Utah Valley. They'll chase as Holden plays it behind his cage. And shot there, again wide. So still some shots for Utah Valley, but not much action for Holden as Stoneham goes the other way. Gets a decent shot in on Bilson. 7:03 remaining in the first period here. Stoneham, the lone Viking there, and a mob of Wolverines after that shot attempt. Budnick and Nab defensively behind Stoneham's line, centering Fantine and McNanny. Stoneham wins the draw cleanly again. So switching Stoneham back to center defensively at least looks like paying off early for Coach Larry McDonald and the Vikings. Stoneham, with his size, has been very effective on face-offs so far this evening. So McNanny flips the puck in. It's played across for Utah Valley to the far side. They'll now break out of their zone as Nab pokes the puck, takes it. Played off a stick high, back into the Utah Valley zone. McNanny chasing. Budnick lost the puck. It'll go back the length, but he had touched it, so no ice. Now it's to Fantine, who flips a high pass across the ice off the boards and played back in by Utah Valley. Budnick to Jackson, now weaving through the Utah Valley defense, losing the puck though. It'll be Nab back in for the Vikings to the corner. Just unable to take it cleanly as Utah Valley puck trickles out front of Holden, where Budnick takes it in behind and passes up to McCollum. McCollum is hammered there by Utah Valley, and we'll have a penalty coming. So it's going to be a second Gonna be 2 minutes for roughing. Number 86 to the penalty box for Utah Valley University. That's Ryan Hall to the box. 2 minutes for roughing. Vikings will take their second power play of the evening. So to start on this one, Hoffman moved up to the forward group. Coach McDonald showing his lines are flexible tonight, so it'll be Hoffman, Stoneham, Jackson, the forwards. Power play unit here for the Vikings. Pardon me, Gamble, Stoneham, Jackson, Hoffman, and McDonald, the defensemen. McDonald now, opportunity to shoot from the slot, and it's caught in the belly by Bilson there. 5:23 remaining in the first period. Minute and 37 remaining on the Western power play there. 2-minute minor to Hall for the Wolverines. McDonald now off the face-off of the Vikings. Plays to Hoffman, shoots on the one-timer. Kick saved by Bilson. Puck trickles to Gamble. Near face-off circle. Back out to McDonald on the slot now. Back to Gamble in the face-off circle. It's back to McDonald in the slot. Shooting chances for the Vikings. Gamble back in the face-off circle now. Gamble waiting. He shoots high. And we've seen Gamble score 3 or 4 goals just at home this season on that exact shot nearly, as Jackson now plays the puck to Hoffman, taking it across the point, plays it in again to Gamble in the face-off circle, looking for the same shot, flipped high off the shoulder of Bilson. Gamble maintains possession and takes it behind Bilson. Now out again to McDonald on the point, back to Hoffman in the near. Hoffman's pass across the front there, no one home. It'll be Gamble again, shooting, low, and we'll have a whistle. So saved by Bilson there at least. Not sure what happened to the puck after that. 4:28 remaining in the first period here. 1-0 Vikings as 43 seconds remain on Western's second power play of the evening. Now McCollum in on the face-off for the Vikings. Utah Valley wins it cleanly. It's caught by Nab on the clearance attempt, though. Played by Fantine, back to Nab. Back to Fantine, but the pass is wide of him. McNanny plays it behind Bilson. Nab able to hold it, keeping away from Utah Valley, but just momentarily as they will clear it down the length of the ice to Holden, who will take it in behind his cage. Budnick plays it up to Nab. Now it's wide of Fantine and McNanny, back in around Holden's cage. He'll stop it there for Budnick once more. Played up to McCollum. McCollum, nice move around Utah Valley players there, but it pass goes wide into the zone as Hall leaves the box, hustling back to the bench for Utah Valley. And there's traffic in front. Bilson was down momentarily. Western unable to get a shot on the open net. Still buzzing the Vikings, though. Now it'll be stopped by Holden on another clearance. Vikings look to break out once more. Played up there by Cloutier, who now chases on the forecheck, and puck's turned over behind Bilson by Cloutier, now pushed down into Bilson. Traffic there. Stoppage, and looks like Bilson's net came off. 17 minutes played in the first period here, and this one still 1-0 Vikings. It'll be Keats Montrose on the face-off for the Vikings. It's Cloutier and Hoytink, the wingers out there, as the shot is kicked away. McDonald's shot there by Bilson. It's played into Montrose. Pass out front, but Again, nobody home as McDonald goes back. He'll play it up to Cloutier. Puck is behind Hoytink, who now plays it into the zone. It'll go past the Utah Valley player to the corner. Montrose chasing. Hoytink now joins him. Utah Valley player taken down there. No call, but they maintain possession. Now, almost a breakaway chance there. 2-on-1 as Hoffman lost his feet, manages to push the Utah Valley player to the corner. Good recovery there from Kyle Hoffman, number 23 for the Vikings. Now Hoffman leaves the puck for Jackson, goes to the ice with Walker, number 19 for Utah Valley. It's turned over to Jackson, but only momentarily. Now once more played up into the neutral ice as Hoffman steps to McCloskey there, who's run into again by Jackson. Vikings throwing their weight around. Turned over in the neutral zone, turned over again. So no clean possession as LaMartina just able to gain the zone, and then the puck trickles into the near corner. Back out to the point. It's shot past there, which ends up with LaMartina, number 21 for Utah Valley. Martina wheels. It ends up passed out by McCollum to Ivor Jackson. Jackson takes the puck from the Utah Valley player, looks to shoot backhand, and it's saved by Bilson. Jackson ends up with the rebound, turns it over to Utah Valley, who now head the other way through the neutral ice. And now gaining the western zone, but it'll be offside. .59 seconds remaining to play here in this first period. Still 1-0 Vikings. Stoneham wins the draw cleanly again there for the Vikings. A good night for him in that regard as the puck trickles down, no icing. It's now taken by Stoneham in behind, turned over, ends up with Budnick. Now Utah Valley the other way. Nab and Budnick back for the Vikings. Pass, shot on Holden. Easy kick save there for Holden. 30 seconds remaining in the first period. Not much in the way of consistent shots coming from Utah Valley towards Holden's cage, but he's been strong for the Vikings when tested this evening. Still Stoneham now, the Vikings captain, in for the face-off. And again, cleanly winning it back to the corner where McDonald goes in to battle for it. He's joined by Stoneham and Hoffman, three of the Vikings' heaviest players there, as it now comes back to Utah Valley on the point. Shot was blocked high. It ends up with McDonald, and he'll flip it up into the rafters for a stoppage. 9.8 seconds remaining in the first period. So still Stoneham on the draw for the Vikings, centering McNanny and Fantine, and he wins it once more to the corner. It's wrapped around by McDonald. Vikings clearing the zone. Hoffman now gaining in on Bilson. He shoots. Looked like that one was stopped by Bilson right at the whistle as Fantine buries a Utah Valley player right against the far boards just as the buzzer expires on the first period here. So 0-0 is on our game clock. 1-0 Vikings as tension takes over the ice after the big hit by Fantine, finishing off a good first period there for the Vikings. Decent offensive pressure on Bilson for Utah Valley, who managed to get some shots in on Holden, but the freshman so far outstanding, solid for the Vikings. Physical contest, pair of penalties assessed in the first period to Utah Valley University. Power plays for the Vikings, who are thus far scot-free in the penalty department. As I spoke too soon, we do have a 2-minute penalty coming to number 26, Fantine, for the Vikings for that hit at the end of the first period, right at the buzzer. So when we return for the second period here in around 20 minutes, it'll be 2-minute minor for roughing to Lucas Fantine, number 26 for the Vikings, assessed at 20 minutes of the first period. Walker Sakon here for the Western Washington University Vikings Hockey Club. 1-0 Vikings after one period. As usual, folks, I'll rejoin you a little bit closer to the end of our first intermission here sometime in the next 15 minutes. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remaining now in the first intermission, hockey fans. 1-0 Western after 1. The 2-minute minor coming to Fantine there. 20 minutes played in the first period right as the final buzzer sounded. So it'll be Fantine in the box. 2-minute power play for Utah Valley in the 3 minutes here when we come back and start the second period. Shots on goal in the first period, 21-4 advantage for Western as the Vikings stayed buzzing around Bilson for much of the quarter, and Holden on the Vikings side of the ice remain largely untested. Utah Valley spending a decent amount of time in the offensive zone, but unable to get too many pucks in on Holden there. And most of the shots they have had have been either wide of Holden or blocked wide by the Vikings, who have done a good job defensively tonight after mixing up their lineup a little bit, somewhat due to injuries and players missing from the lineup, and also somewhat in an attempt from Coach Larry McDonald to stiffen up the Vikings defense, which had been allowing quite a few goals. 10 goals in each of their games to Boise State last weekend, losing 10-0 on the Friday game, 10-2 in the Saturday game. 2 minutes remaining now in the first intermission. Again, 1-0 Vikings. 4 saves for Jake Holden, Western goalie in the first period. 21 saves for Utah Valley University's Connor Bilson on the other end of things. 11:20 p.m. now, as we're just about 2 minutes out from the start of the second period. First intermission buzzer just sounding here at Bellingham Sportsplex. Skaters heading to the benches now as we prepare for the second period of action in this non-conference matchup between Western Washington University Vikings and Utah Valley University Wolverines. Western partway now into their first season as members of the Pac-8 Ice Conference of the ACHA's Division II. Western sitting right around the middle of their conference as they take on tonight the, I'm not sure how to put this, but Utah Valley University last place, solidly last place in the Mountain West Conference currently. Good first period there defensively for the Vikings, again allowing only 4 shots in on the freshman Holden, who was solid when tested. It'll be Jackson, Gamble, and Fantine forwards out there for the Vikings, though Fantine will serve a 2-minute minor for roughing assessed at the end of the first period. As he laid a big hit on the Utah Valley player right along the far blue line on the left of your screen.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Jackson will take the face-off for the Vikings. Fantine situated now in the box. And we are underway here in the second period of play. Be Kraus for Utah Valley, losing a pass to Gamble and then regaining it. Kraus plays one up. Now dumped back in for Utah Valley. They'll regroup as Gamble forechecks for the Vikings. Puck is tipped out to McDonald. Icing waved off as McDonald wraps it around the end boards to Gamble, who tips it into the neutral ice. Christ to La Martina for Utah Valley. As he's run into, Jackson takes the puck, dekes once but loses it. Gamble forces it back into the offensive zone for Western. Utah Valley taking their time now to regroup. Starting out from behind Bilson as the puck goes length of the ice. We'll have an icing call. First minute of play down here in the second period. 19 minutes remaining. Still 1-0 Vikings. Stoneham now in for the draw. He'll be joined by McCollum there, the forwards on the penalty kill. It's Hoffman and McDonald, the defensemen for the Vikings. Minute remains in the penalty to Fantine. There's nothing doing so far on the power play for Utah Valley as they once more regroup in behind Bilson, but lose the puck to McCollum, who plays it to McDonald, losing his feet, but able to poke it in, holding the zone. Now McDonald flips it in behind Bilson. Takes an odd bounce off the end board, squirts across the front of the net, but Utah Valley once more regroups. Now 30 seconds remaining on the penalty to Fantine. That's La Martina again now for Utah Valley. Starting center passes to Kraus, who turns it over to McDonald. McDonald holds, now backing up, able to flip it high the length of the ice. It'll be chased by Hoffman and behind Bilson, but he'll give way to Utah Valley. 10 seconds remaining on the Fantine penalty. Utah Valley now finally gaining the zone. Shot blocked. Stoneham unable to clear. It's held by Kraus at the blue line for Utah Valley. Shot in. Blocked by McDonald. McDonald passes to Hoffman, who's offsides for the Vikings as they lay off. The penalty to Fantine killed now as he'll join the defensive effort for the Vikings. Back now behind Holden. Jackson wards off the Utah Valley player, advances it to Fantine. Now him and Gamble in the 2-on-1. Shot by Fantine. Gamble on the rebound, and he scores! Andrew Gamble for the Vikings. Again, the freshman, former Bellingham Blazer, Kelowna, BC native Andrew Gamble. Dangerous all season for the Vikings. Assisted by number 26, Lucas Fantine, who's been moved up in the Vikings lineup this evening and playing a lot and playing well with a pair of points on the first two Vikings goals. As a whistle off the immediately following face-off. We'll try that once more. 17:28 remaining now in the second as Western takes a 2-0 lead over Utah Valley. This time McCollum loses the face-off. Utah Valley pass out of their own zone. It's now nabbed back to the corner for the Vikings, joined by Caston Jones, who takes the puck for Utah Valley, but Nab's able to regain it. Turned over to the blue line. Jackson turns it over once more, but now Gamble and Jackson back out with the 2-on-1. Gamble, dekes, lost. McCollum shoots it, bouncing high. Bilson sprawling. McCollum still puck loose. Several shot attempts there as Bilson sprawled, made a save, kept the rebound out. It's now dumped in. Jackson able to poke it into Gamble, who gains the zone for the Vikings. Gamble now loses it into the near corner. 16:30 remaining in the second period as a shot by Budnick goes wide there. Now Nab's shot, stopped by Bilson, knocked high. The Utah Valley going the other way, 16:10 remaining in the first period. Holden plays it behind his cage to Budnick, but Utah Valley man there on the near boards. Pass out front, blocked away by Fantine. Utah Valley almost with the shooting chance there. Again kicked wide by Fantine, so the Vikings much better defensively, especially in around Holden tonight. Utah Valley has had some time in the offensive zone, but no shooting chances as Fantine gains the zone for the Vikings. Pass back to McNanny, who plays it across the front, too wide for Fantine to get to as he goes into the corner. Now Kraus the other way for Utah Valley, and Hoffman shoots off the turnover right into the belly of Bilson. And with 15:27 remaining in the second period, we'll have an offensive zone face-off here for the Vikings. Again, for those of you who missed it, 21-4 shots on goal advantage for the Vikings at the end of the first period. A trend which has continued here in this one, though the Utah Valley University Wolverines did start the period on the power play. Not much action has been directed Holden's way. Now it goes behind Bilson for Utah Valley. And out to McDonald, past the red line. McDonald dumps to Hoytink, who will play it in. Utah Valley player chased in behind by Cloutier. Now gaining the western zone is Utah Valley. That's Thompson into the corner. Shot on Holden, blocked, rebound. Backhander there in behind. Nice save by Holden that time through traffic as Cloutier is buried after clearing the western zone. Slow to rise, but appears to be all right, is Evan Cloutier for the Vikings as Hoffman plays in behind. Now Cloutier will take it, clearing the western zone with a pass which ends up with Hoytink, who will ferry it in around Bilson as we have a delayed penalty coming now. 14:28 remaining in the second period. The delayed penalty assessed. Be 2 minutes for tripping. Another Western power play coming. Number 24 to the box for Utah Valley. That's number 24, Trevor Fisher. 2 minutes for tripping. 5:32 of the second period, so there's 14:28 remaining as Western goes on the power play once more. It'll be Stoneham, Jackson, and Gamble, the forwards. Backed up by Hoffman and McDonald as the faceoff is played cleanly to McDonald on the point. McDonald waits, loses the puck. Now Utah Valley the other way. Hoffman with great speed there to catch up. Good recovery by him as Gamble will take it behind Holden. Wheeling and leaving the Utah Valley man behind. Now just 3 defenders ahead of him. Gamble into the zone. Over the circle and behind Bilson. Still waiting. Now he passes out to McDonald on the point. Back to Gamble. Back to McDonald. McDonald now as they cycle back to Gamble. Pass into Hoffman. Hoffman shoots from the near circle. It's cleared by Utah Valley. Another save there by Bilson. Gamble now in the neutral ice. Played up to Hoffman. Nearly caught Utah Valley in a change. Hoffman wires one in on Bilson. It's saved there. Rebound poked wide. A lot of size on the ice for the Vikings as now Hoffman takes it. The far circle. Hoffman waiting. Pass to McDonald. Shot from the face-off circle. It's kicked wide by Bilson, I believe, once more. It ends up back with McDonald, but it's to Gamble, who will wind up. Shot pass from Gamble was blocked away there. Hoffman takes it along the end line. 40 seconds remain. The penalty here as Bilson sprawls, grabbing that one wisely for a stoppage. 13:05 remaining in the second period. Still 2-0 Western Washington University in this one. Changes for both teams. Power play forward group for the Vikings will be forward pair of McNanny and Fantine, centered by McCollum here, who's in for the draw. McCollum ties his man up. It's kicked back and taken by Utah Valley. Finally able to break out of their own zone. 30 seconds remaining on the Fisher penalty for Utah Valley University. Western now takes possession again. .12:40 remaining in this one. By that I mean in this second period, as Utah Valley with a shorthanded chance there, but the shot attempt on Holden was blocked as Fisher's penalty is over for the Wolverines, back to even strength. McCollum now gains the zone for the Vikings, beating a man as McCollum, but losing the puck. To the corner he goes with it once more. Nab will play it back to him. It's taken by McNanny in behind. Pass to the front. Backhand by McCollum. Blocked or saved there. Now the other way goes Utah Valley. Shot wide of Holden again. They battle for it. McNanny comes away with the puck now, crossing the red line into the Utah Valley zone. McNanny shoots high, taken down by the Utah Valley player. And Hoytink also taken down. Pair of hard hits there by Utah Valley. Hoffman run into as well. They battle for it. That's Montrose and McNanny. Delayed penalty coming, as we have a whistle at 11:21 minutes in the second period here. It's going to be a delayed call coming against Utah Valley University. And once we're sorted here, looks like number 14 to the box. Brady Fisher to the box for Utah Valley. 2 minutes for roughing. 11:21 remaining here in the second period. Western goes back on the power play, so it'll be Stoneham, Jackson, and Gamble once more for the Vikings, backed up again by McDonald and Hoffman defensively. As Stoneham ties his man up, pass back to Gamble off of the face-off by Jackson. It's cycled to McDonald. McDonald waits. Shot pass across the front of the net as Jackson fanned on the one-timer. Now it's played behind Bilson. Hoffman has it. Hoffman skates with it. McDonald unable to hold the zone there as it trickles back. Now chased by Utah Valley is McDonald, but played to Gamble. Gamble turns it over. Utah Valley with a shorthanded chance there, which they lost as they lost control of the puck. Now it comes to Jackson on the near boards. It's turned over once more by the Vikings on the cross-ice pass. Backhand there, wide of Holden. And it ends up briefly with Gamble, who loses it. And now McDonald wheels behind Holden. Back to Gamble, but Utah Valley players doing a good job forechecking there. Forwards pass. Dangerous pass there in front of Holden. Good shooting chance for Utah Valley, but Western recovered defensively, poked it away, and now it's played off the boards into Stoneham. Stoneham will chase, but not close enough as it's whistled for an ice. 10:07 remaining in the second period. 46 seconds remaining on the Fisher penalty for Utah Valley University. The second Fisher penalty of the period. First Trevor, now Brady Fisher. 2-0 Vikings. Stoneham's in for the defensive zone draw here off of the icing. Puck goes back to the far blue line. Now possessed by Utah Valley. Player wheeling. Jackson takes it from him. Loses it back to McDonald, who will play it to Gamble. Gamble now passes too far for Jackson, and it'll be another icing called against Western. 9:46 remaining in the second period. Another ice. Still 25 seconds left on the Fisher penalty for Utah Valley. Still Gamble, Stoneham, and Jackson, the power play forward group for the Vikings, backed up by Hoffman and McDonald. Stoneham, of course, with his size, very effective in the face-off circle tonight, winning another one cleanly there to Hoffman. Vikings looking to break out. Hoffman able to keep possession of the puck, past the red line, plays it in behind Bilson. Now wrapped around by Utah Valley. Hoffman winds up with it. Gamble behind, pass out in front, unable to be played by Stoneham there. They chase it to the corner. It ends up with McCollum. Penalty over for Utah Valley. Back to even strength as they look to get a change. Quick whistle there. Shot by the Vikings, and puck very momentarily squeezed between the legs of Bilson as Hoffman and looks like Watson for Utah Valley getting into it there as the teams look to change. Again, Bilson squeezed that one between the legs very briefly. Puck squirted loose right as the referee's whistle was blown. And then a small amount of extracurriculars, but no penalties assessed. Both teams will change back to even strength now. 9:16 remaining in the second period. Western up 2-0 over the Utah Valley University Wolverines. It'll be Montrose in for the face-off as he loses it to Utah Valley. Montrose centering line made up of Cloutier and Hoytink as it's a foot race now. Budnick back in on goal is number 45 for Utah Valley. Sprawling save by Holden. Number 45, Adam Hill for Utah Valley, in all alone on Holden. Budnick unable to chase him down. Made a nice deke to the stick side of Holden, who stopped a shot low. Good shot attempt there. Hill appears to have been shaken up on the play as after the shot he lost his feet, slid to the corner and collided with the boards, but he'll stay out there after being slow to get up. Good save by Holden there. Again, not much action for the Vikings goalie tonight. Vikings control off the draw now. Hoytink tips it out past the red line. It's taken there by Kraus. Played up for Utah Valley. LaMartina will skate past Budnick, losing his feet. It'll be a tripping call against Budnick, I believe. Penalty coming now. It'll be Budnick to the box for the Vikings. Two minutes for tripping. Assessed to number 24, Cam Budnick for the Vikings. It'll be a 2-minute penalty at 8:41 to play here in the second period. Vikings still lead 2-0 as they look to kill this one off. Penalty killers will be McDonald and Hoffman defensively, Jackson and Gamble the forwards, as Gamble, the freshman, is in for the draw here against LaMartina for Utah Valley. Gamble loses that draw. It's back to the point now. Cycled by Utah Valley. Wolverines battling for the puck now as it's poked across the red line. Trickles back just into their zone where they'll regain it. LaMartina losing his feet there as the pass came to him. Gamble can wait with it. Dangerous pass dumped, but it winds up back with Hoffman. Plays it to McDonald. McDonald clears the length of the ice, so the first 30 seconds now killed off of the Budnick penalty. 8 minutes remaining here in the second period as Utah Valley heads in to the western zone. Now LaMartina with speed. Wraps around behind Holden. Still LaMartina. Passes to Piper, I believe. Wrapped back around for Utah Valley. The near side. One-timer on the blue line there. Blocked. Trickling towards the goal line. Holden was able to kick it wide. Another shot through traffic there blocked. Utah Valley pass in front. No one home as Jackson now loses his feet for the Vikings, and Utah Valley plays it behind Holden. McDonald in. Utah Valley, McDonald recovering there, but the pass finds its way across, ends up in the netting off of a block. 7:15 remaining here in the second period. Still 2-0 Vikings. 34 seconds remain in the penalty to number 24, Cam Budnick. Will be Nab and Stoneham and McCollum the forwards. Nab and Stoneham and Fantine the forwards. Looks like Nab. Nope, that is Fantine defensively. So Larry McDonald mixing up his lineup tonight. Some guys who we've seen play primarily forward this season, as Holden was run into there. Yep, they'll wave that goal off. Winds up in the net. It's waved off after Holden was run into, and apparently they will call it a kicked puck. Looked like Holden was knocked off of his skates there by a Utah Valley player at least, and the puck ended up being kicked into the net either way. So it'll be no goal, though Utah Valley did put a puck past Holden for the first time this evening. Discussion with the official who made the no-goal call, Utah Valley players, but there's no changing that one. We'll have a face-off on the near dot here in the neutral zone. It's McCollum for the Vikings. 10 seconds remaining on the penalty to Budnick. Hill gains the zone for Utah Valley, loses the puck as he gets in on Holden. Hoffman goes to the corner, unable to control it though, but it's now taken by Fantine. Fantine joined by Budnick, but he's in on Bilson, shoots. Saved by Bilson, and another quick whistle, though that puck appeared to be loose almost immediately off of the shot there by Lucas Fantine for the Vikings. Excellent game for the forward tonight, playing on the first line for Coach Larry McDonald. A pair of points, scoring the Vikings first and assisting on their second goal, as well as some excellent defensive play from Fantine. It's now Montrose on the face-off of the Vikings. One to McDonald, slapped back into the corner. Western, of course, back at even strength now. Baker plays it out of the zone for Utah Valley, but just barely, as it's kicked back in by McDonald. Vikings offsides momentarily, but doesn't matter as Utah Valley now gains Western zone. Shot blocked there by McDonald. Now McDonald shoots one in on Bilson, who will catch it and hold for a face-off. 5:59 remaining in the second period. Gamble now for the Vikings. And on the offensive zone face-off. Jackson and McCollum, the wingers for Gamble. It's wrapped around by Jackson, rather. Now Gamble steps into that play, interfering. It ends up with his line mate Jackson. Jackson pass back to McCollum, no one home. Gamble takes it to McCollum in front. Great shooting chance there. As folks, apologize for the technical difficulties. Our video feed appears to have gone down due to low battery. Tech crew here working on that as we speak. Utah Valley now gaining the neutral zone as Gamble will play it back across the red line, but turned over. Puck bounces now into Budnick in the western zone. Budnick plays to Jackson. Jackson loses it. Puck trickles the length of the ice, and we will have an icing call. Now 5 minutes remaining in this one. 4:56 minutes. 4 minutes 56 seconds remaining, rather, in this one, as it is still Vikings 2, Utah Valley University 0. Again, technical difficulties here. Our video feed has been interrupted, but we are working on it. It should be back any moment, as the Vikings lose the draw there defensively, but Jackson winds up with it. Now gaining the neutral ice, gaining the Utah Valley zone is Jackson. Shot blocked. Nab winds up with it at the point, shoots high and wide of Bilson. It ends up with Trevor Fisher, whose pass is wide for Utah Valley, so it's back across the end line. McCollum plays it back across the end line. Utah Valley unable to escape the zone as Budnick now takes it on the point. Budnick loses it. It's wrapped around to Montrose for the Vikings. That's Montrose on the ice, Stoneham and McNanny the wingers, Budnick and Nab the defenseman, as Budnick will play it back into the Utah Valley zone. It winds up just in front of Bilson, where it's taken by Utah Valley. Montrose in on the forecheck. Behind the end line now, Utah Valley setting up. Stoneham takes the puck. Pass is blocked, so he goes to the corner to chase. Now into the neutral ice goes Utah Valley. Back in the corner, Nab and Montrose go to battle for it. Budnick jostling for space in front of the net. It goes to the other corner. Budnick chases in. He's pinned to the glass there. Ends up with McNanny, who's unable to clear the zone. Shot blocked wide. Utah Valley still buzzing. Stoneham takes it now for the Vikings with space finally to clear their zone, and he does, but the loose puck deke is interrupted. Nice deke there by Utah Valley man, who then loses the puck on another attempted loose puck move there. As now Nab goes into the far corner. Broken stick for Aiden Nab now. Nice play by Nab, running into Utah Valley man twice there. No stick for him defensively, as Nab is now the man in front of the Vikings goal. Still no stick for Nab, as Utah Valley sets back up in the neutral ice here. 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining in the second period. Folks, again, apologies for the technical difficulties with our video feed. At the very latest, we will have this back up and running by the start of the third period. Again, at the very latest, the tech crew is working on it as we speak. As we have some jostling in front of the net, some frustration it looks like from Nab. Spent the majority of his last shift with no stick. Now a push to the face of Nab from La Martina, the Utah Valley player. Will be matching minors assessed to La Martina and Nab. So La Martina, they'll be matching unsportsmanlike conduct minors to La Martina and Nab for Utah Valley and Western Washington University respectively. So 2 minutes 12 seconds remaining here in the second period. It'll be 2-0 Western, as we'll have 2 minutes of 4-on-4 hockey ahead of us here with La Martina and Nab in the boxes. 2 minutes each for unsportsmanlike conduct. Off the face-off, Gamble takes it for the Vikings. Gamble pass across the front. Now Utah Valley the other way, turned over in the neutral ice to Hoffman. Hoffman gains the zone for the Vikings. Hoffman backhand chance in front of Bilson there, blocked wide. Utah Valley takes the puck now. Wolverines turned over to Hoffman. Hoffman pass. Gamble shoots. Poked wide. So McDonald holds it at the blue line for Gamble, who now regains the zone with a pass to Hoffman. Hoffman dumps around the end boards. Just Jackson in for the Vikings, stepping to the Utah Valley man. Hoffman winds up with it, passes across to McDonald. McDonald plays it back around behind Holden, once more to Hoffman. And it's still trickling around the western zone. Once more McDonald, just across the western blue line. Pushes a pass forward to Ivor Jackson, who plays it from the blue line around the end boards to Gamble in the near corner. Offensive zone is western now. Just under a minute remaining to play. Now in the corner, they battle for it. It's Hoffman and Gamble for the Vikings. It's played up the boards, but still they battle for it. McDonald forces it back in for the Vikings. 35 seconds remaining now. Still the Vikings hold the zone along the near boards. Hoffman goes down, run into by Baker for Utah Valley. Hoffman with a little push to the back of Baker afterwards as McDonald takes down a Utah Valley player in pursuit of the puck. Gamble will reset in the Vikings zone, now taking it across the red line, but turning it over. It winds up with McDonald's. McDonald, penalties over now, 5 seconds remaining. 5-on-5 hockey. Stoneham takes the puck on the blue line. It's tipped in for Fantine, and there's a buzzer. And right on time, our video feed returns. Thanks to our tech crew for working that one out. And again, apologies for losing the video feed there for the final part of our second period. 20 minutes played there, and score is 2-0 Western Washington University Vikings over the Utah Valley University Wolverines. A little more action in that period from a penalty and shooting standpoint. Scoring still a light game on the scoring front. 2-0 Vikings. But again, a little more action in that one. We'll be back with you partway through this second intermission with shots on goal totals for both teams. I would hazard to guess the Vikings still with a significant lead on that front after a 21-4 edge in the first period. Some more action around Holden created by Utah Valley in this period. No goals. Solid performance by the freshman goalie. There was one play where Holden was run into, knocked over, and the puck did wind up in the back of the net, but the closest official was quick to whistle that no goal. Puck was also kicked in by Utah Valley University. Possibly a little frustration building up for both of these teams towards the end there with some physical play and, again, not a lot of scoring. A pair of teams here that characteristically this season have been fairly high-scoring teams. Now, 17:30 remaining in the second intermission here from Bellingham Sportsplex, just before midnight. We'll be right back at it around the same time again, same place, tomorrow. That's October 27th, Saturday. These two teams will go at it once more in another non-conference matchup. Tomorrow's puck drop right around 10:30 p.m., another late game for the Vikings here at Bellingham Sportsplex. Again, I'm Walker Sakon for the Western Washington University Vikings Hockey Club. Thanks for joining us here on our YouTube broadcast, and thanks for hanging on through those technical difficulties there at the end of the second period. I'll be back with you here shortly towards the end of the second intermission. Welcome back, hockey fans. About 10 seconds remaining here in the second intermission from Bellingham Sportsplex. 2-0 Vikings over the Utah Valley University Wolverines this evening. Right around 12:15 a.m. as we get set for the third period in this one. Shots on goal, little more even there in the second period. 15 shots on goal for Western to 8 for Utah Valley University. First period, again, a 21-4 edge for Western, and shots on goal brings the game totals to 36-12 Western, so still a sizable advantage in shots on goal, but a significant number, at least at this point, for the Wolverines of Utah Valley University. Holden, the freshman goalie for Western, still solid, only letting one goal by in this game, which was promptly waved off as he was interfered with and the puck was kicked on the play. Now we get set for period 3 here from Bellingham Sportsplex. Once again, I'm Walker Sacon for the Western Washington University Hockey Club. Thanks for joining us on our YouTube stream of this non-conference contest. It looks like there'll be further mixing of the lines for Vikings coach Larry McDonald in this one, as Fantine, Stoneham, and Gamble will be the 3 forwards on the ice to start this one. Gamble taking the face-off. It'll be Stoneham on his right wing there. Stoneham very effective on the draw this evening, so we'll see if Gamble's use in the face-off circle continues. A solid win for him there on his first draw of the third period. It's played by Nab across, turned over by Fantine. Now Budnick goes in behind the end boards. It's played behind Holden to Fantine. Again, 2-point night for Lucas Fantine for the Vikings. Solid play throughout from him, as delayed penalty coming against Stoneham. It'll be a trip. Assessed 26 seconds here in the third period. So the Vikings really starting off this third period on the penalty kill. 2 minutes for tripping. Number 17, Alex Stoneham, to the box for the Vikings. So the Vikings now will look to kill. 2-minute penalty at 19:34 remaining in the third period, up 2 goals. Stoneham, the captain, a crucial defensive forward in the box, as Fantine runs into the Utah Valley player. McCloskey there loses the puck finally after Gamble swoops in to take it. Gamble dumps around the back of Bilson. It's taken by Utah Valley. They will regroup now. Pass played up off a skate. Gamble threatening to take the puck, but Utah Valley gains the zone. It's poked in behind Holden, still behind Holden. Now back out. Skating the puck now back to the point, over the face-off circle. Shot from the slot was blocked. Never made it to Holden. Now they go to the corner with it. McCloskey behind the goal for Utah Valley. Pass to Fisher, who sauces it back. It's poked wide, but Utah Valley still possesses. Now Fisher on the point. And Utah Valley in on Holden. He's sprawling. Shot low, stopped by Holden. Looks like Holden laid out for that one before the shot even came, but still able to make the save, as there's 18:20 remaining now in the third period. Utah Valley, that's Fisher, losing the puck as Fantine pokes it to the corner on the penalty kill for the Vikings. Backhand on goal by Fantine. Gamble lost his stick, picking it up now and rejoining the penalty kill. It's Jackson on for the Vikings, as well as Budnick and Hoffman, the defenseman. Hoffman takes down the Utah Valley player there with a clean check to the hip. Jackson and Gamble now into the zone with momentum. Flipped on goal by Jackson, a bouncing puck controlled by Bilson. And we'll have a face-off as there's some pushing and shoving back down the other way. Still jostling. It'll be Hoffman for the Vikings and Dustin Peck for Utah Valley to the box. Be matching 5-minute majors for Hoffman and Peck.
And over here, 23 got roughing, correct?
So matching 5-minute majors for roughing. I'm sorry, that'll be to Peck and Hoffman for the Wolverines and Vikings, respectively. 13 seconds remaining on the Stoneham penalty for the Vikings, and 17:47 remaining here in the third period. Still a 2-0 lead for the Vikings. McCollum, Jackson, Budnick, and Nab, the group for the Vikings. Still jawing from Peck and Hoffman. And now Utah Valley takes it behind and out into the neutral ice. They gain the zone, losing his feet. Stoneham now out for the Vikings, getting right into that play. Jackson was unable to possess it as La Martina goes into the zone for Utah Valley. Puck is up in the air, winds up in the corner. Looks like most of the players on the ice lost track of it. It's back now behind Holden. Up across the face-off circle goes Utah Valley. Pass to the point. Shot. Stopped by Holden and gloved to the ice. 17:08 remaining now. Still jawing between Hoffman and Peck now in the penalty box. Changes for both teams. McCollum in for the face-off of the Vikings, centering McNanny and Fantine. Looks like Fantine will be back defensively for the Vikings. Doing it all tonight is Lucas Fantine, number 26. Vikings' first goal scorer, assisting on the second goal, playing defense. A wing on the top line as McCollum tips it in to the Utah Valley zone. Fisher takes it for the Wolverines, but turns it over back to McDonald. McDonald now across the red line, still holding, gains the zone, falls, but pass winds up with McCollum, who will pass it to Jackson. Shot off the post and right across the front of Bilson's cage. Good look there for Jackson. Ivor Jackson for the Vikings as number 26, Lucas Fantine, mixing it up all night. Big takedown there. Fantine just bench pressed the Utah Valley forward, Trevor Fisher. Now, a big hit there on McCollum. Fisher takes a whack at him with a stick after the play. Looks like we've got a penalty coming. Apologies for the game clock, folks. 16:12 remaining now in the third period. Now, penalty coming. Utah Valley number 16. Isaac Richardson to the box. That's 27, Bailey McNanny for the Vikings, so matching penalties assessed.
No, not yet.
27, Bailey McNanny to the box. No. That's Trevor Fisher, number 24, also to the box. We'll sort this out with the officials.
27, that looks like 27 white. 27. Okay.
So 2 minutes to McNanny. And 2 minutes to Fisher for slashing. That was the stick to the shoulder area of Fantine after the play. So
Is coincidental with
Hoffman and McNanny in the box for the Vikings. We've got Peck, Fisher, and Richardson in the box for Utah Valley as we sort through this. It'll be
so the only one that gets to come out is 16.
2-minute minor to Richardson. Bear with us, folks, as we sort this through here with the officials. It'll be 16, Richardson for Utah Valley, 2 minutes. That's the only penalty up on the board now. Vikings will have a 5-on-4 power play here, a one-man advantage for 2 minutes. The incidental penalties coming to Hoffman and number 5, Dustin Peck, will expire somewhere around the end of the power play.
15 for anytime after 15:47.
About 30 seconds remaining now on the incidental penalty to Hoffman and Peck.
So the 13 and 5.
Then it'll be McNanny in the box for the Vikings as Stoneham wins the draw there. Budnick plays it across to Nab for the Vikings. Nab shoots it. It's a kick save, shot on the rebound. Back to Jackson in the corner now, waiting with the puck. Pass in front, but no one was home. Stoneham was run into. Puck's cleared the length of the ice. So the first 20 seconds now killed off of the penalty here for Utah Valley. The Richardson penalty. And now the Vikings, Stoneham gains the zone, drops it back to Gamble. Gamble to Nab, and he shoots it. It's stopped low, held at the line by Budnick. Jackson there to push it farther into the Utah Valley zone where it ends up with Gamble in the near face-off circle. Gamble taking the puck out of traffic, leaves it for Stoneham, who plays it back to Nab on the point. Nab will shoot. Off the post, shot redirected. Another dangerous chance there for the Vikings. Gamble now taking the puck, tipped to him by Nab, and gaining the Utah Valley zone is Gamble. Oh, one-timer attempt there for Jackson. Jackson was knocked to one knee, unable to get to it. Puck is tipped high and into the Western bench for a stoppage. It'll be Stoneham, Jackson, and Gamble, the forwards for Coach Larry McDonald. Hoffman and McDonald on defense. Kyle Watson in there winning the draw for Utah Valley as it ends up in behind Bilson. Played off the glass and cleared the length of the ice. 35 seconds remaining on the Richardson penalty for Utah Valley. And by extension, the Western power play as Gamble sets up for one more rush behind the net. Now coming from behind Gamble. Now gaining the zone is Gamble, but the Vikings whistled for offsides. Little more jostling in the corner there. .31 now remaining in this contest. Vikings still hanging on to a 2-0 lead over Utah Valley University. That's Stoneham tying his man up and cleanly winning the draw. Back to Hoffman, who passes to McDonald. McDonald gaining the zone now. McDonald skates with it to the far circle. He'll wait. Cycle it into Jackson. Jackson back to McDonald. McDonald waiting to Hoffman. Hoffman from the point shoots. It was kicked, and Jackson controlling the rebound, beating the stick side of Bilson High. 3-goal lead now for the Vikings. That's Ivor Jackson, number 8. His first goal of the evening. 14:08 remaining in the third. Assists go to number 23, Kyle Hoffman, number 16, Mark McDonald. Both of the defensemen getting in on that one for the Vikings as the penalty boxes are now clear. Vikings take a 3-0 lead on the goal by Ivor Jackson, assisted by Hoffman and McDonald at 5:52 of the third period. Now Hoffman takes it off of the proceeding face-off in around behind Bilson. Hoffman pushing. Pass goes wide but winds up with Hoytink, who shoots it into traffic where his line mates were waiting. That's Cloutier and Montrose making up the rest of Hoytink's line there, centered by Montrose. Delayed penalty now coming. And it's gloved by Utah Valley for the penalty. Hard cross check there. Peck will head to the box for Utah Valley. Run into by McDonald on his way. No kind words to spare between those two players, Hoffman and Peck, last time they were in the box. It'll be a 4-minute minor to 5. Dustin Peck for Utah Valley losing his cool there. A little altercation with Kyle Hoffman, delivering a cross-check hard to the chest of Hoffman, right in plain view of the officials. It'll be 2 minutes for roughing, 2 minutes for cross-checking to Peck, so 4 minutes in the box. Peck, of course, who had just cleared the box for the Wolverines of Utah Valley. Power play forward group for the Vikings be Stoneham, Gamble, and Jackson, the goal scorer. Another man to the box for Utah Valley, number 86, Ryan Hall, joins Peck in the box. Still awaiting word on the penalty assessed to Hall from our officials this evening. It's going to be a 2-minute unsportsmanlike and another penalty coming against Utah Valley. That's number 19, Tanner Walker.
And then why is 86 so I got 2 for roughing, 2 for crossing.
So it'll be number 19, Tanner Walker, serving a 10-minute misconduct assessed to Peck for an unsportsmanlike. Also a bench misconduct penalty served by number 86, Ryan Hall, for the Wolverines. And a little miscommunication there from the officials.
So 86.
Walker heads back to the bench.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
So it'll be Hall
And
and
then
Peck in the box
the
for Utah Valley. Hall serving the unsportsmanlike, assessed to Peck for bench misconduct. Players regroup at their benches, officials regroup at the red line.
2 for the coach.
Okay, so 86 comes out at the time. Yes. So you should play a man down, right? 5 on 3.
Pair of minors assessed here to Utah Valley. I believe the bench misconduct was assessed.
Yeah, he would have said something.
And now that we're sorted, it'll be 2 minutes of 5 on 3 for the Vikings. Already up 3-0 in this one. 13:38 remaining as it's Jackson, Stoneham, Gamble, McDonald, and Hoffman out there for the Vikings. Stoneham on the draw. Again using his size, again winning it cleanly to McDonald, who cycles to Hoffman. Hoffman on the far dot. And he scores. Western wasted no time on that one as they cycle the puck to Kyle Hoffman, who's got a thing or two to say to Dustin Peck here in the penalty box about it. Only a few seconds off of that one as Hoffman, the goal scorer for the Vikings, at 13:28 remaining here in the third period. It was Hoffman from Gamble and Stoneham.
And so then 5 comes out after the full 4, right?
Yes.
Pardon me, that would be Hoffman from Gamble and McDonald. So second assist tonight for Mark McDonald. Jackson now deking off the faceoff, shot wide. Jackson ends up with it. He'll play it back to McDonald. Same unit on the ice for the Vikings now. Back to McDonald again, shot blocked wide, high into the netting for a stoppage. 13:08 remaining here in this one. 4-0 lead here for the Western Washington Vikings. 3 minutes 31 seconds remaining. Penalty to Dustin Peck for Utah Valley University. So the Vikings still 5-on-4 with the one-man advantage coming off that goal as McDonald shoots from the slot there. Poked wide to Gamble. They wind up with it. Finally, Western takes it back in their own zone. McDonald up to Jackson. Jackson now in on goal. He shoots it, but it's blocked. Gamble takes it. Gamble in the corner looking to pass. It's back to McDonald. McDonald loses it, but able to hold the line. McDonald now waiting. Passes to Gamble, the far circle, across ice. The puck in front, loose. Shot and a rebound. Controlled by Bilson. 12:25 remaining. Stoneham now for the Vikings on the draw. Coach McDonald for the Vikings leaning heavily on this unit here with Gamble, Jackson, Stoneham, McDonald, and Hoffman defensively. Here on the power play, 2 minutes 40 seconds remaining on the Peck penalty for Utah Valley as Hoffman cycles it to Jackson. Jackson now cross the point to McDonald, played into Hoffman at the circle. Excuse me, back to McDonald. McDonald plays into Gamble. Gamble pass to Hoffman across ice, shot high there. I think it was blocked before it made its way to Bilson. It goes down the length of the ice, so now 2 minutes 10 seconds remaining on the Peck penalty and the Vikings power play. It's McDonald to Gamble from behind Holden. It's taken from Gamble. Now dropped back to the Utah Valley defender. It's dumped in. Holden will have to play this one as Utah Valley forechecker is there. It winds up with Hoffman. Now resets behind Holden, wheeling back and passing to Gamble. Gamble unable to cleanly field that, so he leaves it for McDonald. Hoffman will flip that high into the Utah Valley zone. Vikings chase. Stoneham in behind. Gamble takes the puck there. Looking to pass. He's got Hoffman on that far circle. Shot there, across the front of the net. Nothing doing as it's cleared by Utah Valley. Hoffman thought he had a stick held there. Now Nab behind Holden for the Vikings. It'll be Nab and Budnick defensively. Stoneham, centering Fantine and McNanny, the starting forward group, back out there for the Vikings on this power play. 1 minute remaining in the penalty to Peck for Utah Valley. 10:35 remaining in this game. Still a 4-0 lead for the Vikings of Western Washington as Fantine goes tumbling into the end line, takes out another Viking. Looks like McNanny went down hard. A pair of injured skaters on the ice, one from each team. That looks like McNanny and Cody Thompson for Utah Valley. Both still down on the ice. McNanny up now, excuse me. Now Thompson joins him on his skates. Stretching, Thompson heading to the bench. Looks like McNanny will stay out there for the Vikings. Thompson appears to be shaken up, but okay, not much activity there as he gets to the Utah Valley bench. 10:23 remaining as we take a neutral zone face-off here. McCollum unable to win it for the Vikings. It's now McCollum and Budnick back 2-on-2. Budnick poked that, and Holden had to play it, but it ends up harmlessly behind his cage where the Vikings will take it. McNanny back to Holden, who waits, plays back to Budnick in the corner. Just under 30 seconds remaining now on the Peck penalty is a shot block there. Utah Valley short-handed now, possessing the puck, but it's flipped long. McCollum will chase for the Vikings, joined now by Fantine and McNanny. Still Budnick and Nab, the defenseman, as Nab's there to play that one, clearing space for himself. He's got a shot, saved by Bilson. Good shooting chance there for Aiden Nab, the regular Vikings forward, able to fill in defensively as we've seen tonight. .940 remaining in the third period here. 2 seconds remaining in the Peck penalty for Utah Valley. Montrose in for the face-off for the Vikings, joined by Hoytink and Cloutier. That's McDonald and Hoffman back on the ice defensively. Now Utah Valley wrapped around the end boards. Stick loose on the ice. We've had a whistle here. No signal yet from the officials, or I've missed it if there was one. It's a defensive zone draw coming now for Montrose and the Vikings. Same units in there, as it shot by Piper was blocked by Hoytink. Now Cloutier able to clear the zone for the Vikings. Montrose plays it across to Hoffman. It's Hoffman and Hoytink in on goal. Hoffman will shoot and he scores. Kyle Hoffman beating Bilson low and to the stick side as Western has cracked this game open. 5-0 Vikings. That'd be number 23, Kyle Hoffman, the goal scorer, his second of the third period. Assisted by number 2, Keats Montrose for the Vikings at 9:14 remaining here in the third period. So Hoffman goal coming at 10 minutes and 46 seconds in the third period, his second of the evening. Now LaMartina off the face-off. Will still be Montrose's line out there for the Vikings. That's Montrose, Hoytink, and Cloutier as the shot ends up finding its way to Holden, who kicks it wide. Hoffman goes into the corner, takes down a Utah Valley player. Puck winds up in around Holden's cage, but back to the corner it goes, and they battle for it. McDonald now poking it to himself. Racing is McDonald, one-on-one. Shot blocked and high into the netting. That's something we've seen repeatedly here this evening. These large and athletic defensemen for the Vikings stepping up into the rush. A lot of skill. Several of these guys in this Vikings defense core capable of playing forward for this team and probably others. Aiden Nab there on the ice, joining Cam Budnick. Nab, of course, regularly a forward. Skilled skater out there defensively. The forward group for the Vikings, again, Fantine, McNanny. Oh, pardon. That's Stoneham, Gamble, and Fantine. So possibly an impact on McNanny from the play earlier where we'd seen him shaken up behind Bilson's net, as it's now played by Budnick. Tipped high by Fantine into the area of Stoneham. Utah Valley player runs into Nab. They still battle for it here in the neutral zone. It winds up back with Utah Valley in behind Bilson. Wrapped around, held by Budnick now, who will play to Gamble in the corner. Behind Bilson, pass out front. Fantine with a shot. Save there. And there's 7:45 remaining in this one. Vikings lead 5-0 over the Utah Valley University Wolverines. So a much more competitive second period in this one as the Vikings started hot and ended hot. Still hockey left to be played, but the Vikings with a 5-goal lead here. 7:45 remaining as McCollum takes the face-off. It ends up with Budnick on the blue line. Budnick's run into. No whistle as Jackson once again gains the zone. powering in on goal. He loses the puck, which winds up held by Bilson as McCollum hits the ice. Now 7:29 remaining. It'll be another penalty assessed to Utah Valley. Number 24, Trevor Fisher, to the box for Utah Valley. So 2 minutes for boarding assessed to number 24, Trevor Fisher. Vikings go back on the power play, up 5 with 7:29 remaining in this one. And the Vikings have capitalized in this game on numerous penalties from Utah Valley University. The Vikings taking a few of their own, but seeming to gain momentum from those encounters. Hoffman woken up physically by a series of physical encounters, both of them called for penalties with number 5, Dustin Peck of Utah Valley University. Immediately after this series of confrontations and penalties, Hoffman scoring the previous 2 goals of the period to make it a 5-goal lead for Western. As he now plays it to McDonald, it's back to Hoffman, looking for the hat trick. He passes in front as it ends up with Jackson. Play it back to Hoffman now from the slot. Hoffman shoots again and he scores. Hoffman laying down on the ice to celebrate. 20 seconds off the clock, and that one's 7:09 remaining in the period as Hoffman scores. So a hat trick here in the third period for Kyle Hoffman. So the officials are telling us actually an assist for Hoffman, as Alex Stoneham was able to get a stick on that puck and tip it home. So goal goes to number 17, Alex Stoneham, assisted by 23, Kyle Hoffman. Chance created there by a laser shot from Hoffman from the near face-off circle. So again, Kyle Hoffman, the big Vikings defenseman, has really woken up here in this third period as he plays the puck across ice to his defense partner, Mark McDonald. McDonald now back to Hoffman. 6:50 remaining in this one. And in the third period, the Vikings have been able to capitalize more on that power play and those opportunities. It is now Cloutier tips it free of the zone. The Vikings will change. Just Cloutier able to change there. It'll be Montrose, McCollum, and Hoytink, the forwards. Now Hoffman goes to the corner as Utah Valley gains the zone. Hoffman, Utah Valley players running into each other, creating a skating lane for Hoffman. Patiently weaving through the neutral ice. It ends up with McCollum. Shot bounced up by Bilson, who casually catches it in the glove. We'll have a defensive zone face-off for Utah Valley. 6:03 remaining in the third period here. This one 5-0 Western Washington University Vikings. Vikings taking advantage tonight of a great opportunity to bounce back from a pair of big losses to Boise State University last weekend. Last Saturday's loss, 10-2, and a week ago losing Friday night to Boise State 10-0. The Vikings dominating here most of tonight. That's McCollum on the draw, tying his man up, and now he goes to the corner for it. McCollum tripped up, but no whistle coming. Puck squirts across the length of the ice where Utah Valley will take it and escape from their zone. Their player run into by McNanny. McCollum able to take the puck. It's played by McNanny to Jackson. Jackson shoots! Jackson shoots the rebound. Pair of dangerous chances there for Ivor Jackson, and a whistle. Gonna be a high stick.
I think they're just setting it out. High stick.
Be a neutral zone face-off coming here after the high stick. 5:37 remaining in the period. Peck and Hoffman once again jawing. Seems to be no love lost between those two players.
You're not working it. No.
Ahead of one more matchup tomorrow night.
Take care of one in your pocket.
Again, with 5 minutes, 37 seconds remaining in the third period here, just before 1 a.m. from Bellingham Sportsplex. We thank those of you loyal fans for joining us. Thank those of you who will watch later on our YouTube broadcast, the Western Washington University Vikings YouTube live stream, as we'll pause to retrieve a loose mouthpiece on the ice. Goes in the pocket of the official. We should be ready to go. And that's lost forever in the boards. Like a piece of padding or something of the sort holding up play there, but now it'll be Gamble in for the draw for the Vikings. Fantine plays it in on Bilson. Winds up in the corner where he'll chase. That's Jonam, Fantine, Gamble, and we have a whistle. 5:26 remaining in the third. Again, folks, we'll be back at it here tomorrow from Bellingham Sportsplex and live on the Western Washington University Hockey Club YouTube channel. 10:30 p.m. puck drop. You can expect us to be going live with our YouTube stream about 15 minutes prior to that, around 10:15 tomorrow night, or really later tonight, Saturday the 27th of October. Now just over 5 minutes remaining in this one. Gamble loses the puck there for the Vikings. It winds up with Utah Valley, who will play it into the zone. Big check from Hoffman there on Peck. Gamble, the neutral ice. He's run into, squirts free, but loses the puck. It's now taken back into the corner, who turned over to Gamble, rather. Floats free to Hill for Utah Valley, runs into Peck and turns the puck over. It winds up in Bilson's glove for another stoppage. 4:36 remain now in the third period. Will be Montrose, Hoytink, and Cloutier, the forward group for the Vikings. Nab and Budnick, the defense pair for Coach Larry McDonald, as Nab plays it in. Taken behind goal by Utah Valley, but played back out to Nab on the point. He shoots, taken in front by Montrose. Shot there by Nab was blocked and taken by the Utah Valley player, who had his pocket picked promptly by Montrose. Not able to get too much on the shot, so it was easily stopped by Bilson. We'll have another face-off. Same groups for both teams. There's 4:20 remaining now in the third period. And Hoytink goes into the boards there. It's a delayed penalty coming against the Vikings. 4:15 remaining in this one. It'll be Andrew Hoytink to the box for the Vikings, number 19. 2-minute minor for boarding assessed to Hoytink at 15:45 of the third period. 4 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in this one. So power play now for Utah Valley. Ultimately, likely just some more penalty killing practice for the Western Washington Vikings here. Up 5 goals with under 5 minutes to play. As it's wrapped around by Budnick and trickles free of the zone. Almost a good chance for Jackson there as he tried to poke it free. It's tipped to Budnick now by McCollum. McCollum and Jackson, the forwards on this penalty kill. Nab and Budnick. Shot in on Holden, saved. A rebound also saved. First one hit him square in the chest, and then a dangerous rebound. Shot went to the 5-hole, but Holden was able to get the pads closed on it. 3 minutes, 46 seconds now remaining in the third period. It'll be Gamble now for the Vikings on the draw. Gamble and Fantine, the forwards. Hoffman and McDonald back out there defensively as Gamble flips it into the corner. Minute 10 seconds remaining on the Andrew Hoytink penalty for the Vikings. Just over 3:20 to play here in the third period. Not much action yet on this power play here for Utah Valley as Hoffman holds it behind Holden, able to play to McDonald. Back to Hoffman, killing valuable time as they cycle. Gamble takes it now. It's a good thing for Utah Valley. Gamble didn't see Fantine there as the big winger was behind both of their defensemen. Down the length of the ice it goes now. Bilson takes it behind his cage. Now McCloskey, nice move gaining the zone for Utah Valley, but puck's tipped loose in traffic as Hoffman winds up with it behind Holden, able to play it to himself and wrapped around. Fantine clears the zone for the Vikings. That'll go down most of the length of the ice, and that'll go the whole length of the ice. 10 seconds now remaining on the Hoytink penalty, and 2 minutes 20 seconds remaining in the third period. That's McCollum and Jackson back out there, the penalty killers for the Vikings, as Jackson's pushed to the ground. Utah Valley takes the ice. Penalty over for the Vikings. Nice play by Jack McCollum there to force the puck back in. Jackson takes it off of the play. Shot by Jackson. Gloved high by Bilson. Back in front. McNanny had a chance, unable to finish there. Now the Vikings back on defense as the puck goes to Hoffman, who gloves it down, losing his feet. He was slew-footed accidentally, albeit on the play. Hoffman still down on one knee. Now it ends up with Utah Valley. They flip it in on the western zone. Watson losing it for Utah Valley now as they circle around center ice. Minute 20 remaining in this one. 6-goal lead here for the Vikings. And Gamble now plays it back to McDonald. Minute 10 remaining. Hoffman takes it for the Vikings. Pass goes across the front of Holden. Finally played by McDonald along the boards into the Utah Valley zone. Stoneham to chase. Final minute of play now in this one. 6-goal lead for the Vikings. Utah Valley gaining the zone, perhaps for the last time in this one. Nab pokes it away. They still battle for it. Utah player comes away. That was Fisher shooting in on Holden. 35 seconds remaining now in the game. Fisher back out in the neutral zone, gains it. And he's run into, taken down by Nab. Fisher is down on the puck. We'll have a whistle. 23 seconds remaining in the third period. Again, folks, I'll keep on repeating it. Vikings back at it again tomorrow or later today, depending on your perspective if you're watching this in the morning. Saturday, October 27th, the Vikings will finish this two-game weekend series, with Utah Valley. 10:30 p.m. puck drop here at Bellingham Sportsplex, as that one is gloved by Holden. One more save for the freshman, outstanding all night. As 11 seconds remain now in the third period. Of course, all Western Washington University Vikings home games are played here at Bellingham Sportsplex. The game will also be live streamed on our YouTube channel. You can join us there at Western Washington University Hockey Club. Expect the live stream to go up on YouTube and likely be posted to the club's Facebook page around 15 minutes before puck drop, so around 10:15 Saturday evening. As the puck goes wide, and we'll have a final buzzer here. Zeros on the scoreboard, zeros in the score column for the Utah Valley University Wolverines, shut out 6-0 by the Vikings this evening. Much better game for the Vikings here this evening. than last weekend's contest with Pac 8 leading Boise State University. Of course, Vikings' level of competition not quite potentially up to the Pac 8 leaders Eastern Washington University and Boise State, who they faced on the road in the last 2 weekends. Nonetheless, a dominating performance for Coach Larry McDonald's Vikings tonight. Vikings go in with only 15 skaters due to injury, 14 skaters, as Jack Thornton never made his way into this game, and actually, I'm noticing now, is not appearing in uniform in the handshake lines. So Coach Larry McDonald down a few skaters, shuffling lines all night, shuffling roles for some of his players, but still a 6-0 victory for the Vikings as the team comes to center ice to salute its fans one last time for the evening. Again, folks, thanks for joining us. I'm Walker Sakon for Western Washington University Hockey Club. Shots on goal for the third period. That would be 14 shots on goal for the Utah Valley University Wolverines, 21 shots on goal for Western Washington University as the Vikings win this one 6-0. Thanks for joining us. I'm Walker Sakon for the Western Washington University Vikings Hockey Club. We'll be right back at it here around the same time tomorrow, 10:30 p.m. puck drop from Bellingham Sportsplex and live on our YouTube channel. Have a good evening, folks.